to the newest episode of Tulsa Little Jam, and I know you're sitting there, you're wondering, what on earth is our host wearing? I just don't care anymore. I gave up. I gave up on looking good, so this is what I'm doing now. No, you are actually part of a couple of special edition episodes that are taking place. We're back inside. We are filming live in front of a studio audience from the Dennis R. Neill Equality Center. So we're very honored to be taping here from this point forward for a while. Yeah. And that said, this special edition, as well as the next episode after this, is actually part of a special gala called the Tulsa Little Pajama Jammy Jam. So that should explain a little bit about why this ridiculous is happening. Now, I will have you know that I did tell the bands to wear pajamas, but you'll see only 2 people got the memo in this band. But I will forgive the band because this is a very exciting episode for me. As you know, Tulsa Little Jam, proceeds for Tulsa Little Jam go to school music programs for the future generations in Tulsa because there is a dire need of supporting all arts education in the entire country, of course, but every penny that's possible that we can raise actually helps the next generation because every one of these guys started somewhere, and the majority of them started young. And I'm also super psyched because I have family members in from D.C. actually, and Cleveland. All right, represent Reynoso. Shout out. That's right. So we have quite a few musicians in training in our family as well. I'm thinking ahead for Fiona and hi Fiona. Hi, Fiona Victoria. But we have some musicians in training in my own family too, so that's it means something extra special to me as well. And this band that we have tonight means something extra special to me because they are a kids-friendly band. So with that, guys, I'm going to start talking, and we are going to still, believe it or not, start rocking with Hot Toast Music Company.
Yeah, we are Hot Toast Music Company. All the songs you hear tonight, we've written with kids, which are the best kind of songs, I think, if you're going to do kids' music anyway. This first song we need your help on. This is called Hot Toast. This is the song that started it all. So every time you hear me say, next thing I know I had, you got to yell as loud as you can.
Toast!
Well, not just toast. Yeah, hot toast, yeah. And you can even pretend to throw a piece of toast in the air that's a little too hot. Yeah, oh man, this is gonna be so good. Here we go. Maybe some clapping could help as well. Oh, I was in the kitchen and the cock was ticking, tick, tock. And the eggs from the chicken were sitting there cooking on the stove top. Oh, my bread was in the oven and I was in the cupboard looking for a knife and a stick of butter. Next thing you know, I hit hot toast. Well, hot toast in the morning with a side of eggs and oranges. Nothing makes me feel like I'm at home like hot toast.
This season of Tulsa Little Jam is presented by...
This year's called When Everybody Sings. Did you know your voice is so important? It's the only one like it. And we need everybody's voice. Turn to your neighbor, say, we need you to sing. Not everybody's singing voice is supposed to sound alike. Some of us sing low, some of us sing high. Some sing rough like pirates, and others squeak like mice. Either way, we need your voice and mine. Now if everybody's singing voice sounded all the same, why it'd be boring and you'd be snoring, just wishing for a change. So music isn't just a song you hear someone else play. Music is a sound your voice can make. Here we go. So let me hear you sing from your belly. Now how about singing through your nose? Or maybe rough like a pirate. Or even whispery like a ghost. Oh, our voices are all different, but that isn't a bad thing, 'cause it's so much fun when everybody sings. Woo! Not everybody's singing voice will make a perfect match. See, some of us like slower songs and others like them fast. Some voices are quiet and some won't be held back. Either way, we need the voice you have. So let's all try to sing from our belly. Or how about singing through your nose? Or maybe rough like a dinosaur. Or even wispy like a bird. Oh, your voice may be low or a little higher now. Maybe higher now or even higher. Ooh, I think you won. All right. We got to try this out. You can't just say everybody's voice matters and then I'm the only one that sings. Let's try using the singing voices we have to sing together, okay? So follow along. Here we go. We're singing. Bum, 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 bum. Now how about chicka, 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 chicka. Chicka, 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 chicka. La, 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 la. Oh, our voices are all different, but that isn't a bad thing, 'cause it's so much fun when everybody sings the way they sing. It's so much fun when everybody sings.
This episode of Tulsa Little Jam is brought to you by... Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Tulsa Little Jam. Let's hear it for our Hot Toast Music Company again here. We got Simon, our lead singer. That was outstanding.
Thank you.
So, I don't know what to say, but I'm full of feelings now.
Oh, good. They were in there before, too.
One of the things that I was fascinated about when we first started, you were a band that was recommended to me by Anna Barry, and she was just like, "Oh my gosh, you got to have these guys on the show," because she has a 6, or I think she just turned 6, Bella, and she was like, "You have to have them on the show. They're amazing." And I was like, "It's a kids band," and we haven't really had a kids band on there, and I'm not known for always speaking PG or G rated on the show sometimes. So I was like, but I had nothing against it. But then I heard the music, and I was like, this isn't. This is where I need to like just be quiet and appreciate all forms of music, because that's the sort of music and the lyrics and everything that goes into the songs that I heard there's not condescending. It's like a high level. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that I've heard that feels just kind of dumbed down for kids. Like we can't talk to kids like they're normal people. And I felt that's like sort of the philosophy behind what you do. So how did that start for you? Like how did you decide this is what I'm going to do? This is what inspires me. I want to talk. Tell me how that started.
Well, I mean, it started with kids. I mean, we all were kids, right? So it's like...
No.
It happened. It happened so long ago. But, you forget.
I was born this size, which isn't really that unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, so I'm a teacher. I work for a nonprofit here in town, Global Gardens. And that's really informed a lot of my thinking about kids and remembering my own childhood. And then actually having kids was kind of a turning point for me. I did music for you. I've written songs since my 20s, and it's all kind of been about me working through my own thoughts and ideas about the world and life. And then you have kids, and it's like this, it's a hard break from reality before kids and then reality with kids. And you kind of have to make a choice to open yourself up and let someone else be the center of the universe as opposed to you. And you don't have as much room for necessarily chasing every rabbit and every, art is so much about delving into yourself and figuring out, reflecting on your own ideas and your own emotions and thoughts, right? And then you have this baby come, and it's all about them. They're the center of everything. But it's also fascinating because you begin to kind of almost relive your childhood if you let yourself, and it's really kind of magical to watch them experience the world for the first time, to see things for the first time, to feel things for the first time. And so I made a decision very early on to make that switch, and I started writing lullabies for my boys.
This episode of Tulsa Little Jam is brought to you by...
Music is a great way to remind ourselves of things that are important. And it's also a great way to learn new things that we didn't know before. Does anybody know your colors? Have favorite colors? Yeah? Did you know all the colors in the world can be made from just 3? That's what this song's about.
Tulsa Little Jam is brought to you by...
Okay, next song. It's about one of the strangest creatures. What'd you say, possums? Do you guys know about possums? I think it's the strangest creature that lives here in Oklahoma anyway. And since this is a pajama party, I thought, why not sing a song about a nocturnal creature? This is called Everything is Possible.
Everything is possible. There ain't no trouble that a possum can't get itself to. Everything is possible. Oh, it must be awesome being a possum, 'cause all you eat is junk food.
Like literally from a garbage can, you know?
Chores, taking the garbage to the curb. I opened up the garbage can and saw two red eyes staring back. Was it a monster?
No.
Was it a rat?
No.
It could have been a wombat.
Huh?
In a pony white hat.
No.
And I said, hey, how'd you get into there? Well, that creature just rolled over and looked as dead as a doornail. And it smelled bad, bad, bad. I had to hold my breath. It smelled bad, bad, bad. That creature smelled dead. Oh, possums will eat anything that they can find. They sleep in burrows in the day because they're creatures of the night. Anytime a predator gets too close, possums go comatose. Everything is possible. There ain't no problem that a possum can pretend to see through. Everything is possible. So if you're scared and you suddenly pass out, you may possibly be living that possum life now. Anybody living that possum life? Alright, one more. Possums are resistant to disease. If you hear one hiss, it's just scared it doesn't have rabies. Possums take a snake bite, they eat ticks like French fries. If you ever hear one hiss, it's just trying to make you think it's bad, bad, bad. Don't let it fool you with that sass. Oh, possums will eat anything that they can find. They sleep in burrows in the day because they're creatures of the night. Anytime a predator gets too close, possums go comatose. Everything is possible. No, there ain't no problem when a possum can pretend to sleep through. Everything is possible. So if you're scared and you suddenly pass out, you may possibly be living that possum life now.
Thank you.
Tulsa Little Jam is brought to you by...
So hot toast really came out of Isaac, my son, who's here. One of his favorite foods was toast. And I just started paying attention. He was obsessed with the clocks in the kitchen, you know, and we would make chicken noises when we cracked the eggs, and he participated in cooking. And those all became the lyrics to this song. And from then on, it's been, for me, about really listening to kids. And most of my songs are written from just me taking notes in conversations with them or singing spontaneously with them. And I feel like, you know, our music that we listen to comes from adults, you know? Kids' music should come from kids. And I feel like they're capable. Like, they're thinking, sentient beings. They have feelings as big as ours. Maybe they can't communicate it at all yet in the ways that we can understand. But yeah, that's kind of what got me started, I guess.
That was a lot. That was pretty good.
Careful. Yeah.
Isaac,
Loaded
can I get some chicken noises?
See, that's why I love kids. Weird questions get weird responses.
That's the response I get from every child. Actually, I do want to know from the kids in the audience what you guys thought. Can I get I want an applause-o-meter, which is like however loud you go. Let me know what you felt about the music. Kids, go. Obviously, there was one clap in there that was clearly an adult.
Look at them all out there.
Or a child with very large hands. I kind of want to meet that kid.
Yeah.
It was my nephew. So the Feeling song was actually the song, and it's funny when I went in there. One of my sister-in-law was like, that last song was really beautiful. That Feeling song was really beautiful. Talk to me about the feelings thing, because there's a lot of psychology that goes into that. It's not as simple as just saying, I know kids have feelings.
Yeah.
What was there? Give me some of the more in-depth information, the process that went behind a song such as that.
I mean, I think there's so much. These are all such
because
loaded questions, but yeah.
you chose a certain tone to the musicality of the song as well. It's not just the lyrics.
Sure.
So that's.
I think that all plays into it. Yeah, I think that. So, I think that there's a lot in that song about being sad and throwing fits and getting angry and getting upset, having more options. I think, like I said, like when you are around kids, if you let yourself, you'll begin to see little you in there, the you that you pushed down so long ago. And I think for me, watching Isaac and Ezra grow up, and there's like a turning point right around 2, they call them the terrible 2s, but they're really not terrible. They're just, they're beginning to experience a lot of these big emotions. They're beginning to, want to make choices for themselves, right? It's a part of growing up. It's not a terrible thing. It's really beautiful. But watching it happen, I began to reflect on my own fits that I have, and things that make me sad and angry, but maybe the more unhealthy ways that I process them sometimes. You get to be an adult, and it's not socially acceptable necessarily all the time to cry. You have to pay bills. You have to show up to work every day. You have things you got to do, but those feelings are still there. And I think a lot of the times maybe we do have more support systems in place than when you're 3 years old, right? Or coping mechanisms, but maybe some of those are healthy and maybe some of them aren't. I just wanted to say something, have a song that actually said something to them and to myself about that. And I feel like, I was in one of my programs the other day talking to one of the kids, and I don't know how it came up, but he began to comment about not crying and about how somebody told him, some family member said that he should never cry. I think we were talking about his grandmother had passed away. And I looked at him and I said, that's not true. I actually got some tears in my eyes as I was talking to him. And I told him, I cry. And he was blown away. He could not believe it. And I think a lot of us have heard this, and we still hear this, that you shouldn't cry, that your feelings, don't make room for them because they're scary, and they can be. But I want my boys to know, I want Isaac and Ezra to know that they can cry, and that tears is the body. It's like the body's medicine. It's a way of healing itself. And it's really like you're rolling up all that stuff and letting it out. It shouldn't stay in. There's so much to it for me. But I think kids are deep. They are the depth that we sometimes close it. We don't want to access because we have too much other stuff going on. Be around a kid and pay attention, and you'll begin to see what it really means to be a human being. So that's what this music is. Silly. It's funny because I think humor is so important. Kids also remind us of that. But it's also about real stuff. And so, yeah.
I have a friend, a grip friend of mine in New York that I've known for 20 years, and he, as his child grew up, he would have T-shirts made with nothing but one-line sayings, quotes of his daughter from the time she was about 4 years old all the way till she went to college, and they were the most profound things that you'd ever see. And they were these real simple statements, and he'd make them onto T-shirts. Some of them, by the way, I can't say on television, so I won't. But some of them were just absolutely sometimes they just nail it on the head. Yeah. Everything that they feel. I know children who are far smarter than I am. Yeah. And make way more mature decisions than I do.
This episode of Tulsa Little Jam is brought to you by
So I firmly believe that kids should have just as much music as adults, and that the music should be just as good. And that it should be about things that kids are actually interested in. Because that's what we have as adults. And sometimes we like to make these silly kids for songs, and they don't get it necessarily, you know? So I like to talk to kids. This is a song about feelings, and I think it's important that we remember that even though kids are smaller than us and younger than us, their feelings are just as big. This is called You Were Made for Feelings. You can be mad without being mean. You can get angry and not have to scream. Some things will happen that make you upset, but you have more options than just throwing a fit. You can be sad, it's okay to cry. When you let the tears out, you feel better inside. 'Cause you were made for feelings. You were made for feeling so many things. You were made for feelings. You were made for feeling things. Now you may feel things you can't explain. Feelings aren't as scary once you give them a name. You'll have frustrations, they'll come and they'll go. But through them your patience is a seed that will grow. 'Cause you were made for feeling. Oh, you were made for feeling so many things. Yeah, you were made for feeling. Oh, you were made for feeling things. Sometimes it's good to remind yourself. You were made for feeling things. So don't bottle them up and keep them inside. 'Cause your emotions aren't an excuse for being unkind. When those bad thoughts start creeping up into your mind, give your feelings a name, bring them out into the light. And if you have a hard day, you can tell a good friend. Sometimes it takes two to carry heavier things. If your feelings feel too big to hold them all inside, pack them up into your tears, let them roll out of your eyes. 'Cause you were made for feeling. Yeah, you were made for feeling so many things. Yeah, you were made for feelings. Oh, you were made for feeling things. You were made for feeling things. Thank you.
Tulsa Little Jam is brought to you by
Oh yeah, so it's streaming on iTunes and Spotify. I'm currently working on my YouTube channel. There are some videos up. I have so much material. So I do music classes at B'nai Amuna Preschool here in town, and I've been doing that since Isaac was a baby. That's your school, yeah. And so I have 4 years of actual curriculum of songs relating to topics from clouds and motions, patterns, animals, all kinds of stuff. So anyway, my goal is to begin to populate this YouTube channel with some videos and, even actually speaking to kids. I think one thing that there's so many cool programs now, for kids to watch, but there's very few with actual real people talking to them, like people, like looking at the screen. All the stuff about, these Mr. Rogers movies coming out. That's one of the things I love about him was his relationship with the camera.
Right, yeah.
There's a quote in the documentary movie where he talks about, like, he actually saw faces on the other end of that screen, and you can feel that, in his program, that he was talking to somebody. You weren't just watching entertainment. You were having a conversation and a dialogue. And so I think kids deserve that. But anyway, that was like... Sorry.
No.
Such long answers to all your questions.
Please. We need
But
to
yeah,
get
YouTube, anywhere things are streaming. Working on some books. They'll be out this next year. And a video that's being used. We're going to pilot in 5 TPS schools about breathing. And that'll be released early next year as well.
All right. Well, I got to tell you, I just enjoyed having you on here so much.
Man, thanks for having us out. It was so fun.
Yeah, I love it. You weren't expecting some of the questions I was going to ask, but
I never know.
this stuff is important, and I
Yeah.
think it's worthy of discussion. The
Yeah.
way it is, just as worthy as trying to understand and help kids be able to emote more thoroughly or properly. if you
Yeah,
will.
I appreciate you making room for it.
Yeah, no, I'm very psyched. I'm honored to have had you guys on it.
Let's hear it one more time, guys. The Hot Toast Music Company.
That was really awesome. Thank you so much. Super, super cool, man.
You have a hard day, you can tell a good friend.